When I think through sexual relating and how we as people are sexual beings, we're man or woman, and we have that part of it, I think it's important to look at two broad concepts that are part of our sexual relating. One of them would be social sexuality, and another one would be erotic sexuality. Social sexuality and erotic sexuality. Just in a more overarching way, social sexuality would be the idea that all of us are born male or female. We take that genderedness, that maleness or femaleness, into any of our relationships. So social sexuality would be the idea that we relate to each other as sexual beings. First thing we have with social sexuality is moms and dads with their sons and daughters, that's a part of gender sexuality. That's a part of the socialness where we start to learn, wow, I am a boy, I am a girl, mom's a girl, dad's a boy. And we start to allow that to texture and really bring into it our relating socially. Erotic sexuality carries with it the idea that we have testosterone, women do too, women have estrogen, we have hormones, we have mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we have this idea, this desire to be sexually related in an erotic way. Sometimes people call it genital sexuality, but I don't think that's a really good description. I think it's broader than just genital. C.S. Lewis talks about eros being more of a connecting, resonating between souls and hearts and minds, that there's an erotic piece of it. But I think ultimately when we get down to it, part of erotic is that we do have the ability to get sexually attracted and sexually aroused, that there is an erotic and again a social part. Now here's what gets difficult, I think, at times when we define social sexuality is that, okay, so I'm at a party and I'm engaging in social sexuality. I'm talking to my buddies there, and I'm talking to the women there, the girls there, the women there, and I'm enjoying this social sexuality, but in the middle of our social sexuality, we also have sexual desire and thoughts and feelings. And so I can never get away from the fact that I not only am a social sexual being, but I am also an erotic sexual being. And therefore, at this party, there may be some woman or two that really turns me on. Okay, will I take this social sexuality and let it go totally erotic, or will I choose to discipline those erotic feelings and truly enjoy that person and not objectify her and not try to hook up with her? Obviously, I would not do that being married, but anyway, can you see how it gets a little complex but still is an important concept? That most of our lives are not lived in the erotic part of our sexuality. But we always have that erotic part of our sexuality within our social sexuality, adding kind of an excitement, a dimension, an energy there that's important. So we're at a party again. And I'm looking and thinking, wow, that is an attractive woman. Or for you listening in, that's an attractive man. I can learn to realize that anytime I get into the erotic part of my sexuality, if I don't put boundaries around it, I'll be in trouble. Because if I'm going to act on every one of my sexual thoughts and feelings, as unfortunately happens at times in this hookup culture, but if I'm going to act on all my sexual thoughts and feelings, my erotic sexual thoughts and feelings, again, it's not going to be a very good world, and I'm not going to have real relationships, and I won't have the commitment necessary to create that special marital erotic relationship that I would like. So give yourself permission to enjoy social sexuality. You are a man and a woman. You will notice men and women in the environment, but also give yourself permission to have that wisdom to boundary, to put around those sexual feelings and thoughts, that boundary that says, wow, this is an attractive person, but this isn't for me, this isn't my wife. Actually, this is someone else's future wife, and I am going to put the boundaries around where I can enjoy her femininity. I can enjoy that she is a woman and not a man. I can have this gender interaction, this social interaction that's very freeing, and yet still realize that there is an erotic part of me that I'm choosing to boundary, and that ultimately someday I want to find and have found my Eve, and I will marry her, and I will fully develop the erotic. But for now, overall, we live in this social sexuality, and we can have fun, and it's not bad to be horny, and it's not bad to be attracted, or it's not wrong. But if we don't discipline it and allow ourselves to take these erotic feelings within our social sexuality and discipline them, we can get in trouble. But isn't it cool that we have the ability to have this kind of relating because we are sexual beings and we can be erotic, but especially we can enjoy this social sexual interacting and go to parties and have opposite sex friends and just have an enjoyment that we'd never have if we weren't gendered.